It was a night of high drama last night here in Lahore. The opening act saw a new leading wicket taker in the tournament.
Out. Hassan Ali, number 3. Fantastic start this for the Karachi King.
Fahim's fight back gave the Gladiators something to defend.
Oh, that's nailed. Absolutely nailed.
But a moment of magic saw his demise.
He's not the tallest, that's for sure, Tim Seifert, but he's taken a magnificent grab, diving full length.
Karachi were cruising to victory before Kusar caught a cracker.
Brilliant! Oh my word, that is absolutely stunning behind the stumps.
The tide had turned, delighting the Master Blaster to leave the Kings captain fuming.
Look, I don't mind losing if you're fighting, but handing the opposition the game is not acceptable.
Tonight promises more of the same as Lahore Qalandars aim to impress their home fans against a Multan Sultans side hoping to keep up with the rest in the race for a playoff place in HBL PSL 10. Hello and welcome from Gaddafi Stadium, Lahore. We are here for match number 16 and it's the home side, Lahore Qalandars, and they are up against Multan Sultans. Well, great to be here on pitch side, and it's a win needed by both these teams. Talking about Lahore, they've won 2 out of their 5 games. Multan has just won, so I'm sure they're both going to be bringing in their A game tonight, because remember, it's the top 4 that will be qualifying for those all-important playoffs. Now, with me, I've got royalty in the studio, Mark Butcher and Martin Kaptil. I'm sure you love my introduction as well. Guppy, nice to have you here. Different role for you then from what we've seen on the ground. How does it feel?
Yeah, slightly different. Different clothing, that's for sure. Shoes are a lot less comfortable, but no, it's nice to be here in a different capacity.
And Butch, you're used to this now. Like I said, Butch is a veteran. Butch is more of a local now. So we love to have him here, Butch. So great to have you once again on pitch side. Let's get straight to the point, which is Qalandars need a win, and so does Multan Sultans. They haven't won too much. They won a couple of games, but they've not been consistent, Lahore Qalandars.
No, they had 2 wins on the bounce, and you felt as though maybe that was the beginning of something special. One of those runs that we know that Lahore Qalandars can put together after the disappointment of last year, finishing rock bottom. But they've stuttered again, struggled to find any sort of consistency really, particularly with the bowling. Batting wise, I think they're wasting a lot of their talent by having them too far down the order, Sikandar Raza in particular. And here's a look at how important this game is. Qalandars can get themselves neck and neck with Karachi Kings on 6 points and just create a bit of a gap between Zalmi and Quetta Gladiators. And of course for Multan Sultans, they really need to get chasing after the rest of the pack. So it's a huge game. Multan's only win came against the Qalandars, and so this one should be spicy today.
And even talking about Multan Sultans, all the games that they've played, Guppy, so far, bowling seems to be a real concern for them. It's not been on the mark when it comes to sort of defending or, you know, just generally what we've seen in the past from Multan Sultan. They've had a strong bowling unit. Haven't seen that so far. Quick thoughts on that.
Yeah, unfortunately, the game of T20 cricket, you can either get in a roll with winning or you get in a roll with losing. And for Multan this year, they're on the losing side of it at this stage. And we know what such a strong team they have. And, you know, the last 3 years they've been in the final, haven't they? So, you know, they know what they need to do to rectify what they've been going wrong for them in this tournament so far. And, you know, I'm expecting a pretty solid game today from them.
All right, then we'll, like I said, everybody will need to elevate their game when it comes to today. It's a beautiful evening here in Gaddafi Stadium, Lahore, and we're ready with the toss. So let's head over to Bazid Khan, who's out there with the 2 captains.
It's toss time here at the Gaddafi Stadium, Lahore. Lahore Qalandars, Shaheen Shah Afridi, Multan Sultans, Mohammad Rizwan, Mohammad Iqbal Sheikh, match referee, and the wonderful toss mascot, Mohammad Saad, who is Multan Sultans fan, Rizwan. Anyway, it is Shaheen with the coin. Give it a flip.
Heads. And it is tail.
Heads is the call. Tails. Shaheen, घास काफ़ी है, क्या करेंगे, क्यों?
बॉलिंग करेंगे. इतना ज़्यादा घास है तो ऑफ कोर्स हर टीम बॉलिंग पे ही जाएगी.
लाहौर में लाहौर कलंदर्स अक्सर बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्म करती है. पिछला मैच इतना अच्छा नहीं गया, लेकिन क्राउड तो हमेशा आपके लिए आता ही है.
नहीं, बिल्कुल इनकी सपोर्ट की वजह से टीम अच्छा खेल रही है. और पिछला मैच थोड़ा सा अनफॉर्चुनेटली ऐसा रहा कि कोई हम एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर रहे थे कि इतनी जल्दी हम विकेट देंगे, बट होपफुल इस मैच में अच्छा खेलेंगे.
पिछले मैच में सिकंदर रज़ा ने शानदार बैटिंग की. इस दफ़ा थोड़ा ऊपर जाएंगे या
सिकंदर रज़ा ने शो किया. आई थिंक ही इज़ अ बेस्ट ऑलराउंडर इन द वर्ल्ड और वो काफ़ी अच्छा खेला है. और होपफुल जब वो उसकी जो सिचुएशन होगी उस पर आएगा.
ये बताएं कि टीम में कोई चेंजेस हैं?
2 चेंजिंग है. रिशद और आजिम नहीं खेल रहे हैं, नईम और टॉम करन आए हैं डेब्यू करने.
तो नईम को एज ओपनर लेके आए.
अभी देखते हैं इंशाल्लाह.
चले देखते हैं. पिच ऐसा है तो कितने पे आउट करना चाहेंगे?
उम्मीद है इंशाल्लाह 150 160 अच्छा टारगेट होगा.
चले, थैंक यू वेरी मच. गुड लक. रिजवान, अब गलती की गुंजाइश कोई रह नहीं गई, तो क्या प्लान करके आए हैं?
बस भी अभी तक जिस तरह टेबल चल रहा है अभी काफ़ी टाइम लग रहा है इसमें. मगर यही है कि हर एक मैच इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि कॉन्फिडेंस चाहिए होता है. हर जीत के साथ ही कॉन्फिडेंस आती रहती है. जब आप हारते हैं तो बिल्कुल थोड़ा सा माहौल डिफरेंट हो जाता है. मगर अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह जिस तरह मैचेस हम अच्छे ही कह रहे हैं, मगर जो की मोमेंट है वो जा रहे हैं हाथ में, कोशिश करेंगे उसको कवर किया जाए.
लाहौर की पिच थोड़ी सी डिफरेंट नज़र आ रही है.
बिल्कुल, अगर आप देख लें डिफरेंट तो सी चीज़ें मिल रही है, क्योंकि पिंडी में कभी कभार पिच जब मिल जाता है 230 40 वाला होता है, नेक्स्ट मिलता है थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट होता है. मुल्तान में डिफरेंट था, यहाँ पे बिल्कुल टॉप ग्रीन मिला है, जैसे न्यूजीलैंड में पहुँचे हुए हम ऐसा लग रहा है. मगर बहरहाल एज ए प्रोफेशनल इन चीज़ों को ही, क्योंकि हमारे लिए भी है, ओपोनेंट के लिए भी है, और मेरे ख्याल से चैंपियन माइंडसेट वाले चीज़ों को नहीं नोट करते.
बिल्कुल. और आपकी टीम में कोई चेंजेस?
हमारी टीम में 3 चेंजेस है. आकिफ है, असनैन और शयो भाई हुआ है.
बड़ा सही याद किया. थैंक यू. गुड लक फॉर यू. So the news out here is that Lahore Qalandars have won the toss and have elected to bowl first.
All right, Lahore then winning the toss and they have elected to bowl first. Now, interesting decision when we talk about that, because we saw a bit of dew. Is that perhaps what it's down to? I mean, we've been seeing a lot of batting firsts in Multan, Pindi, different conditions here though.
Yeah, well, I think the teams batting first have got a little bit of an issue playing here, because trying to work out what is a good defensive score batting first is much more difficult on a surface where you're not quite sure what's going to happen. I think the pitch might just do a little bit early on, as it has done in the last couple of games, and this pitch looks slightly less good than the ones that we played on the last 2 nights here in Lahore. So the reason they do it is because coming round second you might get some dew which will help you out, yes, but knowing what you're chasing in conditions where you're not entirely sure how the pitch is going to play is always a better way to go about it.
All right, well, both the sides have decided to make a couple of changes overall. Multan Sultans as well opting for a few changes. Guppy, changes were required because when you are expecting different results, you try and change things up a bit, and they've left out their spinner Osama Mir. He's out as well, and they've got all these changes that we can see just on screen right now.
Yeah, it looked to me like they've strengthened their batting lineup by bringing Shea Hope into the side. He's coming for Chris Jordan. Try and extend that batting order just a wee bit and have Iftika coming in at number 6, Michael Bracewell at 7, Josh Little, and then the bowling lineup there, which is looking pretty strong to me tonight.
Absolutely. And then speaking of Lahore Qalandars, they've also dropped Rishad Hussain. Rishad Hussain is not playing. Karan and Naeem come in.
Yeah, Tom Curran, good old Surrey boy, he'll do fine. Obviously a fantastic all-rounder, lengthens the batting line-up a little bit. I hope we see Sikandar Raza come in a little bit earlier than we have done, but he'll also give them an extra dimension with the ball as well. So I think that's a really good change and just strengthens Qalandars all the way through the card.
All right then. Well, over the years when you talk about Lahore Qalandars and Multan Sultans, they've been pretty even Stevens with certain results, but time to find out what it's looking like right now. It's time for head-to-head. All right then, as you can see, the last 5 games, it's been pretty close. You've got, not the last 5 games actually, the last 5 games, Multan has been dominating rather, looking at the wrong side. 20 matches, Multan overall 11 and Lahore 9. So Multan has had the better of Lahore, and even in the last 5 games. So if we are to go by these stats, Multan is a team that's going to be doing well. All right, then you heard the news that Lahore is won the toss and they are batting first. We'll be taking a short breather on pitch side. When we do come back, we'll be having a closer look at the pitch. Well, we're back on pitch side. In case you guys have just tuned in, the Lahore Qalandars have won the toss and they are bowling first. Now, we saw a low-scoring game yesterday, but it was attributed more to the batting of Karachi Kings. How's it going to fare today? Let's find out from Ramiz Raja and Lee Sastalekar, who are out there with the pitch report.
Warm breeze here, maximum of 36 degrees. And I've got Lisa Stalliger here with me. Now, this is the maximum grass that I've seen on a T20 pitch. This is pitch number 9. They could have easily played on this one, which is unprepared, but it matches the amount and volume of grass that I see here. What is this madness?
Yeah, well, I actually think it's a placebo effect, Ramiz. Even though more wickets have actually fallen in the power play, we've had 4 innings, 12 out of the 29 wickets have fallen. We've digged a little bit deeper, and guess what? There's no extra seam movement, there's no extra bounce, there's nothing like that. But what I have noticed is the bowlers are targeting the stumps a little bit more. The length is really important. The length is probably back of a length, maybe slightly short, a bumper every now and again to surprise, but then you'll see that the beehive is honing in at the stumps. So I actually think the batters think there's a little bit more in here, but there isn't.
So this could be your test match length, right? Same kind of energy, aggression, bouncer, good length stuff, maybe a couple of slips in place.
Correct.
And this is probably Qalandars trying to define home advantage for you because they have a very, very fine pace battery.
Yeah, they do. And pace bowlers seem to be very effective on this surface. Multan has only lost 2 wickets in the power play to seamers. So seamers, keep targeting the stumps. You'll get plenty of action.
So winning score 12?
You wish.
All right, okay. It's going to be fascinating seeing teams bat and bowl on a surface like this. It is full of grass.
Well, there's a reason why both the teams have left their spinners out, but Multan is definitely going to be the team that's looking to change their fortunes around because they've won practically just 1 game today. You look at their results and fixtures so far, and we've seen that in the past as well. Butch was just reminding me a couple of years ago how they started off badly, but then they really picked up. But so far, it really hasn't going well for them because if you look at how they started in Karachi, Pindi and Multan, they have been losing most of these games and by some considerable margins as well. So I think it's going to be really important for them to get their act together and really get some runs, bowl well as well because that's going to be important for them. Butch, they've gone in with, the extra seamers, no spinner for them.
Yeah.
They really need to be bowling and executing their plans better.
Well, they do, but let's start off with the batting side of things first. They brought Shai Hope back in, which I think is a really good call because I think some orthodoxy, some classical batting is the thing that you need on a surface like this, batting first. And Yasir Khan obviously was instrumental in the victory that they had over Lahore Qalandars less than a week ago. So batting-wise, I think some strong shots, but also being mindful of the fact the ball might do a little bit something early on. Shai Hope could be the key for them.
And from a Qalandars perspective as well, I'll just come to that, but we're talking about Multan Sultans and one of the guys that is going to be key for them is Usman Khan. And the reason why we mentioned that as well, had a brilliant last year, scored those 200s, remember, in Pindi, but it's been decent so far. Kapi, you've had a chance to have a look at his innings at all?
Yeah, he's a great player, isn't he? He's got so much power. Hits the ball hard, hits the ball in gaps, and just he knows how to build an innings. He just doesn't go out there and hit the ball from ball 1. He builds into it, and then he's got the power to make the most of those last few overs in the innings that they really need. So he's a big one to watch tonight. I feel that if he scores some runs tonight and gets the team off to an absolute flying start, then I think Multan are going to be in the game to win.
There's one thing about Usman Khan. He's a very, very fine player of spin. and there's not going to be a lot of spin knocking around tonight. There's going to be a lot of pace. And early on in his innings, if you can go at him, go at the body, go sort of shoulder height a little bit and be aggressive at him, it tends to take his foot movement away. So that's going to be something that I think Lahore Qalandars will look to be going at him with when he comes to the crease.
From a Lahore Qalandars perspective, when you look at that middle order, Guppy, of course they've got somebody like Sikandar Raza, who's got all the experience in the world with the bat, with the ball, and we saw what a fine innings that was against Peshawar Zalmi.
And he's been a key player for the last few years. It's not just now that he's sort of put his hand up to score the runs. He's done it for over a long period of time now, but not only in the PSL but all around the world. And he's done extremely well for himself. You can see here 52 off 37 in the match against Peshawar. Hit the ball to all parts of the ground. He moved around the crease and just played smart cricket. When the ball was in his zone, he hit it. When it wasn't, he rotated the strike beautifully and kept the innings going along. So if they can get a partnership with someone else and they can make sure that they do that throughout the innings, they're going to score a lot of runs.
I've got a question for you. Why, in the modern game, would somebody like Sikandar Raza be coming in at number 7?
Absolutely. Good question.
Make-up of the team. I couldn't tell you what it is, but he's putting up a strong case to bat higher in the order, isn't he? Especially with guys above him not scoring so many runs. Why not give him an opportunity to score more runs than he already is?
Well, there you go. Well, we can expect Lahore Qalandars to make better decisions with that batting order for sure. Now, time to hear from our experts what they have to say about the expert predictions. Just putting you on the spot then, Butch.
Yeah.
Who are you rooting for?
I'm going to go with the home team here. I think Multan are a little bit short on batting. I think it's going to be incredibly important trying to get a total out here today on that surface. So I'm going to go with Lahore.
Thoughts, Guppy?
I'm going along the same lines as Butch here. Home crowd, home. They got the first use of the ball, which looking to be a bit of unknown with the wickets. So I think their seam is going to make it pretty tough for the Multan team to get away.
All right, then we have Lahore Qalandars in the house pretty much on pitch side. Both the experts really rooting for them. And I can tell you that this crowd is also going to be behind them as well. So that was the expert predictions for you. See you guys after the short break for all the live action.